Hello YouTube, Lenna has been featured in Kane's Intersecting Will, which means she's likely the LD banner coming up on this campaign thing. Vanille? Anyone? Anyone? Vanille? Anyone? Oh, well, regardless, I'm here to talk about Lenna's LD. In this video, before you pull Lenna's LD, I'll go over the character, give you some things to think about before you use your limited resources. If you're not familiar with my channel, I play both JP and Global, and I use that experience to form my opinions. I'd also give my personal plans near the end of the video, put some skin in the game, and give players an example of how to potentially think too. I want to hear your plans, so go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below with your plans for the banner. Be sure to like the video as well, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, you don't miss a video. I do read all the comments, but if you want to guarantee I reply to you, go ahead and become a member. For $1, you can get channel emotes and participate in emotes in my live stream, the Ranting Hour, where I put a lot of my random thoughts, get some people together. It's a fun time, my most entertaining content in my opinion. There's a playlist in the description, you can check that out. Catch us live too at Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you're not familiar with Lenna Kit, she is a support type character. She doesn't do much brave damage, but she's very good at burst healing the party and providing a very strong HP regen. On top of that, she's got debuff immunity on her frame buff that she gives to the party. Lenna's rework brings her damage up to par. Her skill 1 does 100% AoE 3 times, but she's not hitting actually hard, so this doesn't make that big of a deal. Skill 2, the one that gives the debuff immunity, now has splash damage on it. You can heal the party and it refunds Lenna afterwards. Now for the LD. The actual attack is pretty simple. It heals the party. Then Lenna does 3 split AoE HP attacks. These are battery based attacks. Lenna's Brave does not deplete, and it's based on the party's current HP. This gives Lenna a new buff, which we'll go over shortly, and it gives her a special HP attack. Every LD use will give Lenna 3 uses of the special HP attack. The special HP is actually just a copy of her LD attack minus the HP heals. It is limited in use though, so if you burn through all theoretical 9, then that's it. The new buff is what ties Lenna completely together, makes her really good. She gives party HP up by 30%, which scales nicely with her LD and special HP attacks. She gets overflows of both kind 30%. The big one is that she gets 50% brave damage up and 30% HP damage up for the party, provided you're above 50%. If you're below 50%, this aura is halved, 25 and 15. Also, Lenna starts the quest with this buff, provided you have her LD boards. Her high armor plus is encouragement, which means battery. She has 2 C slots, so if you got those Paladin Cecil RFs, go nuts. And her actual split leans in the HP damage direction, which is dope because she's got that 30% HP damage up. She will definitely help people hit that cap. As for Lenna's calls, I value her base call over her LD call more actually, because her base call gives the debuff immunity buff to the entire party. Her LD call is just overflows and brave and HP damage up as an aura. But it's a nice burst heal. So let's break it down. Lenna's strength, man, she is a very potent support. 30% HP damage up as an aura with a very easy condition that she helps you meet. Staying above 50% HP, like a lot of bosses are not HP attack spammy, and Lenna's LD will get you right back above that threshold, and her skill 2, now that it heals on demand, will help that as well. Oh, and her EX also heals, so she's keeping you alive. She's got great burst heals and great HP regen. One of Lenna's biggest problems is that she doesn't do any damage, and while she's not doing any brave damage now, with this not consuming brave special HP attacks and LD, she's battering the party a lot and she's doing a lot of damage herself just by pressing these buttons. Debuff immunity is a great niche to have because you just don't have to think about debuffs at all. She's honestly got nearly everything you could ask for in a support. Damage, buffs, heals. As for negatives, while Lenna is providing HP damage up and brave damage up, she doesn't provide much in terms of attack. So if you're not adequately debuffing defense or providing enough attack to the party, Lenna's buffs aren't going to feel as good. And while she does do her own damage via those moves that don't consume brave, she's not doing much in terms of brave shave, so you cannot rely on her for that. She does not cleanse, she only prevents, so if debuffs are guaranteed, they will pierce her debuff immunity. And maybe my biggest concern with Lenna is that she does a whole bunch of things well, but those things she does really well are possibly already contained in other units you might have. You can get brave and HP damage from burst effects or other supports. You can get battery from other supports that you might already have if you've been playing a while. You can get the damage up via calls, etc. To the point where, and this is me speaking from personal experience, I pulled Lenna in JP, and I'll go over this more later, but I think I only used her like twice, just because I had a bunch of units. I never felt like she was needed for content, just because I had a bunch of other units I could fulfill her role in terms of like getting rid of debuffs, or like I had it spread around on my roster, and if I needed that specific part, then I just bring that character who was probably marginally better at it, or I'd rather just ignore Lenna outright. Lastly, while Lenna is providing brave and HP damage up, she doesn't provide brave gain up at all, and she does battery. So her batteries might get taxed and just not going to feel as good unless you pair another brave gain alongside of her. Ideal teams for Lenna, well, she is a damage amp, so provided you're hitting hard enough, then Lenna's just going to be a net positive all around. If you're not doing enough brave damage, then you're going to want to put some attack behind her, so high attack sports, Barret, but the upgrade to Barret Maria, Queen, you name it, or drop the defense, the usual tactics to buff the party's output. Otherwise, there's not much advice to give. Lenna is one of the most plug-and-play units in the entire game. She only takes up 1 buff slot in the party, and provided you can fill that, then you're good. If you're taking too much HP, then maybe a secondary healer alongside Lenna would be nice. Brave gain up alongside Lenna would help round out the buffs that she gives, because she gives Brave and HP. Give Brave gain up, and you got it all around. As for useful fights, and shout out to Dissidia Compendium and Here Helicopters, great guy. Please check out his site, join their Discord, he's really cool. I actually put in a feature request because he's got on the boss page a characters who can hit the orb, and I asked him to do a reverse lookup on the character pages. So if you go to a character's page and you go to events and then you click on enemies as a subcategory, you can see what character could potentially hit future orbs. So that's what I'm looking at when I say this. But Lenna can help on the Sid Reigns Lost Chapter because you just need to have regen, easy fight. But she's also very helpful for tier 7, which is also kind of an easy fight. You just need to regen HP. And in the 6-man beta, where you need to HP regen to uptick an orb, Lenna's very handy there. And even later down the line, past her C90, the first Shinryu, where you need to keep your HP up, Lenna's very good there. I mean, again, Lenna does so much in terms of heals and buffing the party. She's really good pretty much everywhere. She doesn't get shut out by anything. She just works, but those fights specifically, she can shine. There's probably more, but she was a staple in so many people's comps. So now we've gone over the character, here are my plans. If you've been listening to the Ranting Hour, which again you should, I've been back and forth on skipping Lenna, and I think I might just get her. She's a great pair with Zac, as always. Paired with Lenna, the Zac Maria combo, I've been really enjoying that. Maria is better Barret, so I can maybe stop coping. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Barret. I started getting a little bored, but Lenna's a very good character. And I have such a diverse roster where I probably wouldn't use her. And again, I used her like twice in JP, and I could have used her more, but I never felt like it, and I never felt like I was missing out on much. But I like HP damage up, and I like HP cap up on the armor. So I think I might blue her again. I'm on the fence. I'm probably gonna get her. Full disclosure, I've really been back and forth, but she's a good character all around, and just having to kind of turn my brain off and just synergize with some characters, probably good enough for me, you know. She does rerun alongside Laguna's LD and BT first banner, and that's where I was thinking, I'm like, I could skip her until then. And then I'm like, what if I miss her then? And maybe it'll give me more reason to chase Laguna's BT. But I mean, it's just a character. I'm probably gonna take a cap if I don't like pull Lenna here. So it is what it is. I think I'm gonna go for her now. There is some kind of event thing going on where she comes. It's some global exclusive thing. This was not in JP. If you're not aware, Lenna came after Shadow, but was on a Eject banner in JP, and Vanille is still in the Void. So we don't know, in JP she was just synergy on the Shadow raid, so we don't know what's going to be coming with her actual banner, but it does look like Trey's LD is going to be on the banner. Although we are getting the Malboro and I think the Fang boss is looking like, although those fights seem like they want me to use Yuffie on them, so we'll see how it goes there. So now for my banner advice. So this is for people who have not already decided if you're on the fence. Lenna's a favorite, by all means, you're probably not listening to this part, but I'm going to try and give you some thoughts to take into consideration on whether you should get Lenna or not. I think Lenna's a good idea if you're newer and you need some ports. Definitely, if I were talking to someone newer, I'd be like, yeah, get Lenna. She's got a lot of stuff. If you struggle on a lot of fights, Lenna, good character. Aside from that, like if you're a veteran and you're kind of on the fence, I say you could probably safely dodge her until C90, because like I said, in my own experience in JP, I didn't feel the need to use her that much. That doesn't mean she's not good. It just means I never felt like I never felt like I needed to use her. I had other stuff at the time that could get me through. Like if I needed enough HP regen, I just heal more, like stuff like that. She's a good character that does a lot of things that characters already do. But at the same time, if you like overkill team comps and you can hit those caps, if you're stacking BTs, well, if you're at the point where you're like stacking BTs like crazy, then Lenna's not going to be providing much value either, because you might want to swap her out. So I don't know, because she needs to be in the party to actually provide those buffs. Whereas if you go the debuff route, you can throw debuffs up, get the debuff character out, and that might be more valuable. So I say veterans are probably safer skipping and maybe grabbing her down the line at Laguna's LD. Especially if you're on kind of broke and you're trying to save, I think you can probably safely skip Lenna. But that being said, if you do get her, you won't be disappointed unless you don't use her like I did in JP. That's all I got. Kept it fairly short. try to keep it simple for you guys. I know I heard the feedback. You guys like me keeping the fight stuff, so I'll keep that up. Always looking to improve my content, so be sure to give me some advice. But again, I thank you all for watching this. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts on the banner, what you're going to do, etc. If you got any questions, go ahead and fire them off, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.